Our top story, a 300-year-old live oak in Savannah has been cut down despite efforts to save it.
The historic tree stood on private property, but a Georgia Power said it was in the way of critical infrastructure upgrades. WSAV's Tyler Nicole joins us now live near Little Neck Road. Tyler, the tree's removal has sparked outrage from the community. What happened today?
Well, that's right, Tina. Outrage is an understatement. It's been a very emotional and somber day out here as that 300-year-old live oak that was right behind me is no longer there. Not even the tree trunk stands. Now, residents and activists tell me that they thought that this tree was going to be spared because it had protections placed on it last week after they all came out and rallied together as a community. But Georgia Power crews came in this morning and started to remove it. And as we see now, it is completely gone. Now, that tree has stood in this front yard for over 300 years. And for homeowners Jim Ball and Alan Grizzard, the tree wasn't just a landmark, it was a part of history. And they say that the removal feels like a betrayal. Despite weeks of public outcry and efforts to have that tree designated as exceptional, Georgia Power moved forward, citing high voltage transmission lines needed for upgrades that officials say are critical for Savannah's growing electrical demand.
I think they knew the whole time. I think they were just messing with us to appease us the other day, knowing they were coming back. And it obviously worked. I mean, we had no protesters here. We thought we were safe, and now the tree's gone. And 300 years of history is just out.
Georgia Power says that they did explore every option to protect that tree, but federal regulations and reliability requirements left them no choice. They say that they do plan to offer pieces of that oak tree to the family so that they can create keepsakes and art in the memory of that historic tree. Now, we will keep you updated on when they're going to start putting in those lines over here, but you can find the entire story on our website, WSAV.com. Reporting on Little Neck Road, Tyler Nicole, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Tyler, thank you. More victims coming forward in a serial stalking case in Savannah. We now have new video showing one of the suspects, Nathaniel Crawford, outside of a store at the Oglethorpe Mall on January 12th. In the video, a woman is inside the store while investigators say Crawford is seen pacing outside before it opens. Deputies with the Chatham County Sheriff's Office say he later approached her, making lewd comments and threats. They say he targeted another store clerk in a separate incident and appears to be wearing the same shirt seen in the other cases. Crawford was denied bond again in court, and his case has now been moved over to Superior Court. Investigators say the number of victims has now reached double digits, and they believe there may still be more out there. Deputies are also searching for a second suspect. If you have information, call investigators at 912-644-5136.
Some new developments to tell you about now. The second suspect in a brutal beating in Pooler is now behind bars. Ronnie Scott appeared in court today in connection to a violent attack caught on camera last August. The video shows a group of people assaulting someone in the Walmart parking lot off Pooler Parkway. Scott was denied bond, with the judge saying he poses a danger to the community and is a risk of reoffending. His next court date is scheduled for March 24th.
New at 6, a missing inmate in McIntosh County is back in custody after a search that lasted all through the night. According to investigators, 47-year-old Michael McCannon left a work site without permission Tuesday evening around 6:40. Deputies say he got into a waiting car, prompting an immediate search. Authorities later stopped that car on Highway 251 and arrested the driver, but Concannon was no longer inside. Around 7:30 this morning, Concannon was found in a marshy area behind a neighborhood in Darien. Officials say he will be returned to the McIntosh County Detention Center.
In Savannah, the last of 4 murder suspects pled not guilty for a deadly shooting in February 2024. WSAV was the only local news station with a camera in the courtroom today. 19-year-old Zaire Garner pleading not guilty, joining co-defendants 20-year-old Rashad Hamilton, 23-year-old Jalea Bryant, and 25-year-old Demetrius Lawton. They face felony murder and related charges in the shooting death of 20-year-old Anthony McBride. Court documents say the suspects arranged a meeting with McBride on February 13th to buy marijuana, which allegedly turned into an attempted armed robbery and the fatal shooting on West Montgomery Street. All 4 are expected back in court in April.
There has been a new arrest in connection to that high-profile Best Buy theft case in Savannah. Police say Zaqui Gardner was taken into custody by Savannah police and appeared in court today. He now faces multiple charges, including theft by taking, theft by receiving stolen property, and a probation violation. A judge denied bond during that first appearance. This comes as part of that ongoing investigation into a $40,000 theft at the local Best Buy, where police say employee Dorian Allen helped several people walk out with merchandise without paying, claiming that he was being blackmailed with nude photos of himself. 2 of the now 7 suspects have been denied bond. 4 have been released on bond.
The community coming together to support a family and their business after the loss of its beloved owner. Randy Davis Sr. was more than the face of Davis Produce. He was a light for everyone who knew him. WSAV's Isabella Baez joins us now. She spoke with the family about what this outpouring of support means to them.
That's right, Tina. The family told me locals went to Davis Produce not just for the fruits and vegetables, but for the man in charge, Randy Davis Sr. His family tells me he was at the produce stand through sickness and in health, all because he loved what he did. Just over 30 years ago, Davis and his wife Sherry opened up Davis Produce off of Highway 80 in Savannah. They saw it as their way to pour back into the community they grew up in. The family says for Davis, it was more than just selling local produce, it was his life. However, on the inside, Davis was battling stage 4 liver failure. His family says he fought till the very end, and even through all the treatments and sick days, he would still show up for the people he cared about.
He was such a hard worker. You know, even on his sickest days, he'd go to dialysis, and he'd leave dialysis, and he would go to the market at night and hand pick all of our produce. You know, even on his weakest days, he wanted to be there to hand pick it and bring it back to us. He'd be here in the morning so that we could unload it and be ready for the day. And just knowing, I mean, he just loved going to the market. It got him through his worst days.
A meal train has been set up to help the family during this time. If you're interested in signing up or donating, you can find a link to the fundraiser on our website at WSAV.com. As well, Baez, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Isabella, thank you. New at 6, a nursing home on Tybee Island is back up and running after health concerns forced its kitchen to shut down. The Chatham County Health Department says the cafeteria at the Rosewood Nursing Home, formerly known as Oceanside Care Center, was shut down following a complaint-driven inspection. You may remember WSAV's previous reporting where loved ones and former caregivers raised concerns about living conditions there, including allegations of mistreatment. During the latest inspection, officials found several problems, including a lack of hot water, a significant water leak, and an unreported change in ownership. Health leaders say those water issues could not be fixed within the required time frame, forcing the facility to shut down its kitchen and temporarily switch to catered meals for residents. Since then, the facility has addressed the most urgent problems and submitted the proper ownership documentation. A provisional food service permit was issued, allowing staff to resume preparing meals on site. The health department says the nursing home now has up to 60 days to fix any remaining issues. We have reached out to the home for comment. We are waiting to hear back.
Happening now in Savannah, city leaders giving residents what could be their final chance to share input on the future of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Civic Center. People are gathering there at that open house. They're getting an opportunity to see updated design concepts, research findings, and plans for the historic Johnny Mercer Theater, renovated ballrooms, meeting rooms, and new multi-purpose spaces. City officials say that the community feedback will be key for final decisions are made on the renovations. There you see that live event happening right now. WSAV's Jillian Coles is there. She will bring you the full story coming up tonight on News 3 at 10 and 11.
Now, Time Saver Traffic, sponsored by Arrowhead Clinic, the accident doctors, where it pays to get well.
Well, right now we don't have many major issues on the roadways heading out of the city. Just some minor delays along 21 and also Duren near Abercorn. If you're heading down to Richmond Hill along US 17, taking just under a half an hour to get to that part of the area. We don't have any issues from the weather, but that will change as we head into the later part of the week. Rain chances will be increasing, and beneficial rain is in our forecast since we are running a pretty significant deficit for 2026 so far. We'll have the complete forecast coming up.